Hi there and welcome to today's vlog. It's hard to believe, incredible really, that this time next week we should, if all goes to plan, be in our new home in Doncaster. And it's just so difficult to believe that retirement is actually happening. And I've already begun to receive some cards relating to my retirement and our move away from Leicester. It'll be sad in so many ways, but on the other hand, new opportunities. And I want to show you one of the cards that I've received. This card was from my three staff colleagues in the Leicester West Circuit, Navette, Joy and Judith. And I want to say to them, thank you so much for the friendship, the love, the laughter that we've shared together. One of the blessings of the last couple of years has been the opportunity as a staff team to meet together every month, to pray together, to encourage one another, to share in what's going on in our lives and in our churches, to support each other. And I've been blessed in so many ways over the years with colleagues, but our current staff team is a really good one, and that's one of the things that I'll really miss, along with other things. But anyway, here's the card, and it says, "Enjoy retirement. It's an exciting new chapter." And that's a really interesting observation, isn't it? That yes, in one sense it's an ending, but it's not the end of the book, end of the story. It's a turning the page to a new chapter. And the exciting, if you like, nerve-wracking, uncertain element of the new chapter, the next chapter, is that Sue and I have virtually no idea how that will work out. Excuse me. It's like reading a book, a thriller or an adventure story, and you're enjoying the story, and then you turn the chapter and you're not quite sure how the next chapter will unfold. And that is absolutely true in our case. We've no idea how our next chapter will unfold when we get to Doncaster. As I said before, probably most of the church buildings will still be closed or certainly restricted. We've no idea which church we're going to particularly connect with. We are excited about new opportunities that God will bring before us, but at the moment we've no idea what they will be. So really it's a step in the dark, if you like. And yet, as we know that with God there is no darkness, he is light, and he will in his time show us the way, a step at a time. Sometimes it works out. God doesn't often show us a clear view of a long-term future. Often it is just taking a step of faith, step by step. We follow with Jesus. We walk with him. Just like those first disciples, when they answered Jesus' call, they had no idea where that would lead them. So we do look forward to beginning a new chapter, although it will be, as I've said, sad to leave behind the memories and the experiences and the friends that we've made here. Though in another sense, our friendships hopefully will remain through the years, and we look forward to when these things are allowed, to receiving, as some of our friends from here, to our new home. You can help us unpack. So I'm sure by the time you arrive, we won't have finished unpacking. In fact, we're a bit concerned that our double garage in our new home will be big enough to store all this stuff that we're putting in there, ready for unpacking and sorting. But anyway, that's another story. So new chapters, new beginnings, and that really is the heart of the Christian gospel, isn't it? That whatever our past, whatever lives we've led, whatever mistakes we may have made, whatever regrets we may have, when we meet with Jesus, he offers us a brand new beginning. And we see so often in the Gospels, Jesus meets someone and their life is turned around. An obvious example is Zacchaeus, the tax collector, who was a hated man in his society. And yet when he met with Jesus, Jesus spent time with him. Zacchaeus' life was completely turned around. He said, if I've robbed anybody through my work as a taxman, I will repay 4 times. And he gave away half of his money to the poor. So his heart was changed. And we see so often that happening. And it's not only something that's restricted to the Bible times, to the New Testament, but all through the years. And God continues to do that, to change people's lives. And one of the joys we've really experienced through the past 30 years is to see lives being changed. Sometimes people coming from no faith to faith, sometimes people being developed in faith. Of course, that's not always the case, but it's been a real joy to see God working in people's lives. And God has worked in our lives. We've learnt so much from the people we've been privileged to share those years of ministry with. And I want to, in relation to what I've just been saying, to share a quote with you. This comes from someone who I really enjoy reading, C.S. Lewis. He obviously is no longer alive, but I remember when our children were young, I read to them the Narnia stories, and that was a special time, and I still love those stories. But C.S. Lewis wrote lots of books also dealing with difficult issues. One was called The Problem of Pain. And he wrote a number of great books that are still well worth reading, that look at different aspects of Christian faith and life. And this is the quote from C.S. Lewis. He said, "You can't change the beginning, but you can start where you are and change the ending." So if you think of our lives as a book, we can't change what has already been written. We can't change the storyline, if you like, up to now. We may regret some things there. We may see big mistakes we've made. We may see lots of times when if we could go back, we'd do things differently, but we can't go back. We're not Doctor Who. We don't have his TARDIS. We can't go back and change things. Indeed, in Doctor Who, that's one of the things, one of the rules that he's supposed to live by, not to change events from the past, because it will affect the future. Anyway, that's a bit of a diversion, because I'm a Doctor Who fan. But anyway, the point is, we can't go back and change the pages of our lives that have been written, but we can start now and change the ending by the way that we live our lives, the way that we respond to God's hand upon us, the way that we are open to God's leading, the way that we seek to live our lives to please him and not please ourselves, or indeed to please other people. So there's the encouragement. Wherever we are now, wherever you are now in your life, you've got a choice for the future. The best choice that you can make, I can make, is to live our lives for God, to follow him, to know his Spirit at work in us, that we live lives that please him. So as we turn over and begin an exciting new chapter, who knows what lies ahead? One thing we do know, that God will be there. He will lead us. He will guide us. So God bless you. Thank you so much for listening today.